Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you guys can see me. Hopefully I'm sounding good. I have a new microphone that I'm using, a lavalier mic. I don't think I've ever used it for a live stream with the OBS setup. I've used it with my phone. Um, we're gonna wait for a few people to get in here. I will only be here for a little bit. I just wanted to show off the test stand and answer some questions if you guys had any questions. Here's the test stand right there. It is almost complete. There's a few more things I'll get into, such as this. Um, and yeah, I just want to do this live stream. It's been a while since I've posted anything, so I just wanted to get some viewer engagement and talk to you guys if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I'm live streaming a different way, so I'm not sure if how many people will see the live stream with me live streaming this way. Um, but yeah, so here's the setup, the shop. This is more of the shop area. If I know some people asked about this. If I move this way, here's my actual laptop. It is a mess right now. You can see where I'm running OBS. This is where actually the videos are filmed. Let me know if I sound good. It shows on the OBS that the audio might be too loud. I might turn it down a little bit. Let me know. Let me listen in real quick. Okay, yeah, so the audio seems a little loud. I'm listening in on another live stream on my phone. So I have some questions up here. I'll have my phone with me. So if you have any questions, comment and I will answer them. But yeah, starting off, I know I haven't posted in quite a bit, probably about a month, but that will change soon. Here, let me move this chair. I got this chair right here. Here's the test stand. To me, compared to me, I got some bubble wrap on the bottom so it doesn't scratch. But it's a pretty big test stand. Compared to the SN series test stand, it's pretty crazy. It's heavy. It's way more robust. I can show you right now. Hopefully the thing I can I mean I could stand on this if I want. Weighs around 30 pounds. So it's a big test stand. There's still a few things I need to do with it. Let me also here here's the motor for size comparison. So this will get chopped down just a few inches. This is a little bit over 2 feet, I think 2'3". The actual motor will be around 2'1" or 2 foot. Not 100% sure. But here's the motor. Compared to this test stand, there's still, I will get into it in one moment about the load cell, pressure transducer. There's a few more adapter plates that I will have. But the motor's going to be about here. So it'll stick out a decent amount. Hopefully you guys can see that well. Because it's hard for me to see the OBS. But yeah, so this is a crazy test stand. Um, Crazy size. Let me actually get the chat up if you guys have any questions. But yeah, so it's made out of 40 T-slot. I mean, it's not too heavy. It's not unmanageable, but it's definitely pretty heavy. Also, let me know how audio is doing. If someone could go into the chat and let me know. I have a lavalier mic on right now. I think that's what it's called. So I can walk everywhere. I don't need to stay right here. Um, I can do a little size comparison. I do have the SN series test stand under here, which I do need to take out anyways for the video. I will go in a little bit more Here's a load cell. Pretty beefier. It's bigger, beefier, and better than the SN series. Series, I think, was 100 kilograms total. This is 500 kilograms. So slightly larger. And yeah, this will pretty much fit right onto there. And then the bulkhead adapter, there's a lot of adapters now. The bulkhead adapter is what will go onto the load cell and have a cavity that's open, so I'm able to also thread the pressure transducer through it. And so the whole rocket motor's thrust is going straight through that load cell right there. That's very important. Now thinking of it, I probably could have made that more beefy, but I actually did some analysis on Onshape. 500 pounds is perfectly fine for a part that thick of aluminum. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got so far. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting too much. I've been really busy with school, so that has been slowing me down drastically. Also, I've just been waiting for stuff to come. Shipping takes such a long time. So yeah, I'm waiting for this to come in aluminum, black anodized, so it matches with the test stand. Also, I can actually. This is the front of the test stand. I don't know if I want to. You're looking at the front now. I don't know if I want to change the actual bottom plate, which will have the load cell, to be the other way. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. I probably won't because this T-slot is a pain, especially if, especially when you need to put these, actually right here, T-slot nuts in the actual T-slot grooves. So once it's all put together, you can't fit the T-slot nuts in. For example, let's go up here. Sometimes you get lucky, which I'll show you in a second how you get lucky. But sometimes you get lucky where you can still fit the T-slot nut in. But say right here, I am not able to get this T-slot nut in unless I take off this part so I could slide it in. So that's a really big consideration you need to take when you're putting together T-slot. Let's get back here. But yeah, for me to actually switch around that bottom plate, right, trying to do it on the camera right there, that'll take a bit of work because I need to take off the whole one side. This is difficult looking through the camera and pointing. I'll need to take off those sides to be able to slide in the T-slot nuts. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. This is a really informal stream. I have nothing planned. Usually for live streams, I have something planned to say and to do. But I just wanted to get on here for a little bit. I have till 8 until I need to get back to editing because I have this test stand video coming out hopefully next weekend. I'm just waiting for those few CNC parts. Also some 3D printed parts, some resin printed plastic parts, because I can actually show this right now. It's something I haven't done yet. I'll probably wait till those parts come in. I have 8, I think it's 6 millimeter rods diameter, M6 rods. I have 8 of them because the motor right now will fit in, obviously, but it needs some restraints. Obviously, it'll be restraint from the bottom with the load cell, but we need to restrain it from wiggling on the top like this. And you really don't want to have a rogue motor that does 500 pounds of thrust. And it will also weigh fully loaded 18 pounds. That can do some damage. So these threaded rods will be threaded through. Let's see if you guys can see. Let me zoom in actually. So you can see we have this level cross section, and the bottom level cross section. These two level cross sections are to add structural support to the whole stand, obviously, but also they provide as a place where I can drill and thread these threaded rods through, which will then clamp onto the motor in the middle. I don't know if that's a great view. Maybe I can do this. And there'll be 4 on each level, 1 on each side. They do have this little 3D printed, well, it's actually resin printed. Resin printing is way better quality. Let me get some water. Now these little cups on the end, which will nicely contour to the casing to mount on to clamp the casing, because I really don't want to be just going straight metal on metal. It won't properly attach, and also it'll scratch. This I'm planning on, actually, this is a casing, if you guys don't know. This I'm planning on sanding down because it is disgusting right now. You can see it's a pretty industrial pipe. I got it from this industrial metal supplier, which their top priority is not looks. So that's pretty much what I have. In the last few minutes, I can go over, if you guys want to know the next video. I actually have my notes right here. I can sit down right here. We sit right next to the test stand. Here's the test stand. Yeah, it is crazy. It's heavy. It's gonna be tough to get down into the blast chamber, but definitely doable. No problem with it being impossible. Also, I have a lot of plans. I do have uh, date that I somewhat think will work for the static fire. I'm not gonna say because it's not confirmed. I have a date and then another backup date. The dates will be about a week apart, so I will be testing in the winter. What is winter? Um, so I live in an area where snow is a problem, so we do need to work around that and the coldness, which isn't great for testing motors, and it's not fun on a test day, especially first static fire. I'll be outside for 4 or 5 hours working on stuff. So I got some plans, got some pretty cool plans. I won't discuss them now, but once they're set in stone and I have an actual date that I'm shooting for to actually static fire, you guys will be the first to know. Because as you guys know or may not know, is we're really close to the static fire. We built the blast chamber. We've designed the rocket motor. We've casted the propellant. Test stand is built 90%, but I still need to put out the video. Then it's assembling the rocket motor and then the test. So only, not counting the video that's coming out next, which is almost done. Not the video aspect, but the actual building aspect. There's only one more video building the rocket motor, which is not that difficult. Many people think, oh, that might be the most difficult part. That's probably one of the easiest part, actually assembling the rocket motor. This test stand will take way more, it has taken way more time. Casting propellant has by far been the longest thing and the most difficult thing of working on this rocket motor. But yeah, actually, after the rocket motor is designed, and if it's designed very carefully, so the actual assembly is not difficult at all, which is what you want. So yeah, let me sit down for a minute. I got a few minutes left. Let me make sure I see the chat if anyone has any comments. So yeah, for this next video, make sure to give your feedback. If you think it's a terrible idea, then tell me. I won't be offended. So for the next video, I'm planning on, here's the structure right here. Here's the actual script right now. It's getting there. So we're starting off with the hook and intro, obviously, and then the brief overview of Mega X, and then what is a test stand? This will be a few minutes just to help include everyone because I don't expect everyone to click on the video and know exactly what a test stand is. I try to make my videos technical enough, but not too technical, but also enough where anyone could pick it up and watch the video and enjoy it. So yeah, what is a test stand? And then my last test stand, which I'll be going over the SN series test stand, specifically the good and the bad of it. Not too much about how I built it, because I really don't have that much footage of building it because it was never planned to be a video. The new test stand design, so how I designed this, building it, the new test stand build, that's exactly what it says. Load cell and pressure transducer integration. This will be going over real quick on what a load cell is, what a pressure transducer is, how I'll integrate it into this test stand, which I haven't done yet. Oh, that will also include the code, which I should add it on here. That will include the code, which the code's finished, pressure transducer calibrated, load cells calibrated, everything's calibrated. I will do another look at the code and do a few more tests. I'll do some, I like to call it like wet dress rehearsals because that's what the professionals call it in the space industry. But it's just some rehearsals where I have a mock static fire and I can go through the data and make sure it all works. Then after the load cell and pressure transducer and the code, I just have it as new test stand test. That will be the wet dress. That will be the rehearsal. Um, and then the outro. So that's the structure I have so far. Let me know if you would like me to add any parts or if I should change anything. Yeah, this video is a sneak peek of the script. Hopefully you guys can't read this. I'd say the script's a little bit less than halfway done. Yeah, so I'm at the part where I'm going to be just describing how I and explaining how I test or how I built this or designed it. Sorry, it's been a long day. Yeah, so I have a new air compressor right here, which is used for calibrating the pressure transducer. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Um, I haven't done any updates or videos in a little bit. If you want more updates, make sure to go to the community page. I post not a bunch, but I definitely post more there. Yeah, so I've till about 8:10. I'll call it at 8:10 or 8:15 possibly. But yeah, here's a test stand. The thing that I love about T-slot, aluminum T-slot, 4040 T-slot specifically, um, you're just able to loosen these bolts and you can move this all around, take it apart. If I ever find out that this second anchor point is too high up or too low, whatever, I can loosen it up, move it, and change it. It's just very easy. The last test stand, you could still do that, but you need to unscrew it. Then you would need to level. You need to screw it back in, level it. Also mark on the outside so you know that you're screwing into the wood. There's just way more to it. Way more complex. This may look more complex, but it's definitely more user friendly. But it's definitely 10 times the price, probably even more. If I were to make Mega X test stand out of wood, it would probably be way cheaper. But at the same time, I'm building this test stand. This test stand will last. I will be able to test, well, provided nothing goes wrong, which I'm not planning. But this test stand will be able to handle a lot and go through a lot of static fires. A bunch of static fires. So I'm pretty excited to use it. Hopefully the static fire will be in December. That's a little sneak peek. Yeah, this static fire is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be intense. Um, First time ever doing a motor this big. Looking at my last motor, actually, if anyone's new in here, oh, this is actually be cool. Here's Mega X's test stand, obviously right here, and then if I can find it, here is my SN motors are now on display in my little museum, as I call it. I posted on my community tab. I have a nice shelf in my room, walnut shelf that I built, and they're all sitting there with little display tags. But this is a failed casing for SN SN4. You can see right here. It's great to have things labeled. It helps out a lot. So this is a failed casing for SN4. When I was drilling the radial bolt holes, what happened here? Uh, oh, the jig was slightly off. The tolerances of the jig were slightly off, and I should have checked it over before. And I drilled. At least these casings are like 20 bucks. Mega X's casing is $100, so that would be quite sad if somehow I mess up on this. But yeah, here's Mega X, and then here's SN4, which my last motor I fired was SN5, but SN4's casing was the exact same size. So you can really see a difference. I mean, you could easily fit multiple SN4s in there. But yeah, SN4 compared to the test stand is crazy. I mean, realistically, I possibly could somehow modify this test stand to test SN4 in it. Who knows? The SN series. The SN series diameter was 2.25 outer diameter, and Mega X is 3.5. So, pretty crazy. I do have possible plans to go back to the SN series. After I do a few good static fires with Mega X, so I can learn more about Mega X. Because right now the propellant formula I'm running on it's good. It could definitely be better. I can add some stuff to it. I'm also working on possibly my own formula of propellant, which would be pretty cool. But pretty much Mega X you really don't want to have as a propellant testing rocket motor because the propellant is huge. And it takes a lot, and if it fails, then it's a waste of money. So I might retire or unretire SN5 and do some more tests with some different types of repellent. And then those different types of propellant, once I test those and work out how those will work, I will put it up to Mega X and see how it works there. I definitely want to start small with new propellants and work my way up so I don't waste a bunch. Let me check the comments, see if we have any questions. Not many questions this live stream. Sometimes I get a bunch. I might be shadow banned, honestly. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so I have a few more minutes. I got till 8:10. Now I need to go edit and shoot a bunch of shots for this video. I got a bunch of shots I actually got to do with the old test stand because I'm gonna explain that before I get to this test stand. It's a heavy test stand. Yeah, so once again, ask any questions if you got any questions about this or Mega X or anything in general. Here, if you're new in the live stream, you just got here. Here's Mega X's test stand fully complete. Well, sorry, not fully complete. The actual T-slot's fully complete. I still just need to do a few more things, a few real quick things. Integrate the load cell and pressure transducer, which have their own adapters, and then do some wire management for the electronics. The Arduino is going to be mounted to the actual test stand. I think it might be mounted up here. Um, actually, this is the back of the test stand. If I spin it around, you can see I already have some T-slot nuts in it for that custom. I made a custom adapter. There's so many adapters on this for the Arduino. I'm making a mess over here. This is a mess down here. I got a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, this test stand definitely has a few scuffs. It's something I learned is it's very difficult to get nice T-slot and not a really scratched up T-slot. This T-slot was just such a pain. I got the first order. I can actually show you how some of the T-slot came in the first order, which is just crazy. That's not anything on it. That's like actual scratches. Um, I was luckily able to get my money back because that is crazy. I can't use that. There is some scratches on that, the actual test stand, but they're very minimal. You really don't see them too much. Yeah, away from the test stand, that is definitely important. The only reason I may not do that is because the test stand is now in a pit. And I may, yeah, I haven't went fully through it. I might actually take that consideration. Like the SN series, where is it? Here's the actual box that you can see the Arduino mounts in there that got taken out. Pressure transducer and load cell data. Um, yeah, so I put the or the actual Arduino in the electronics. Obviously the load cell and pressure transducer needs to be on the rocket or on the motor. Um, but also thinking about it, say something does happen, probably the worst thing I could lose is the data because Arduinos aren't really that expensive. Luckily, I have 3 Arduinos actually, so I would be able to swap one out real easily. But yeah, it's more the data aspect. If it blows up and I lose the data, that would be terrible. I wouldn't be too worried about the electronics because the load cell and pressure transducer need to be on the motor anyways. Those are probably the most expensive, and there's nothing you can do about. I mean, maybe I could do some pressure transducer or some piping to extend it further away, but there's no point. That's definitely shouldn't do that. And the load cell needs to be at the bottom. So yeah, load cell was about I think $70, pressure transducer 50, and then the Arduinos. Honestly, I haven't bought one in a long time. I don't fully remember how much I bought them for. Um, but yeah, I may do that. We'll see. The only reason I wouldn't is because I really want to keep everything on the test stand. Because just like the SN series, which I haven't done it fully like this because the actual Arduino was not on the test stand, but the motor would be integrated. Everything's going to get integrated actually right here. Maybe a little bit more over that way to be exact, but everything will be integrated down here. So I'm able to do a few tests beforehand. So I usually integrate the motor. I usually assemble the motor 3 days in advance and integrate it in the test stand 2 days in advance. So I'm able to run some quick tests and then I'm able just to bring it outside. Especially with the cold, I don't want to need to be assembling stuff outside or doing anything. I do have a really good idea to mitigate the coldness and all the drawbacks that brings, which I'll discuss in another video. Um, but yeah, that'll probably all that stuff will be discussed in the test video because originally my test footage would be in the video where I design, build, and test. I would usually post a video where I design, build, and test the motor all in one video. But with a video like a series like Mega X and a motor like Mega X, if I were to do this, you guys wouldn't have gotten a video for like 7 months. So It's definitely way better. I'm on track to be posting about a video a month. So each stage takes me about a month. The next stage hopefully will not take me a month, the assembling and testing the motor. But we will see. School definitely drives down air propulsions because I do have a lot of stuff to do at school. If I weren't at school, this would probably be tested 3 times by now. Um, but it is what it is. We're still making pretty good progress. Got any more? Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned this, if I did or didn't. Well, I actually did. Useful tip. Well, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't know that. Oh, actually, I could have it write the data as a .eng file. I have, or no, that wasn't. Oh yeah, no, I have done that actually. For SN5, I did need to convert the data though because my data just comes out as time. Um, there's time and then which one's first? The actual it's time, thrust, and pressure. But I was able to rewrite the data and swap it around so I am able to put it into open motor. I did that I think with SN2 or SN3 when I was considering flying those motors. I don't think Mega X will ever fly, unfortunately. Maybe though, but um, it's a huge rocket motor. So we will see. I mean, if someone wants to fly it for me, because I legally and with rules, with all these rules, I'm unable to fly this motor if I want motor. So there's level 1, 2, and 3 motors. And there's low power motors if you don't want to get into any levels. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Just want to do a quick update. Show off the test stand, freshly built. Took me way longer than I expected. Um, not even not even really, it wasn't complex at all. It was just very tedious. All those corner mounts right here. Each of these corner mounts, I think there's 88 total on them on there. So 88 plus 2 bolts per, 2 nuts per. Um, the time definitely adds up. Send it to Ukraine. I mean, I could if you want. You got to take a video though if you fly it. And that's a big rocket to put it on. Yeah, so I think that's where I'm going to end the stream. We'll end the stream looking at the test stand, close up to the test stand. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. This is just very informal stream. I had no plans on what to say or do in this stream, just to show off the test stand, and to possibly answer some questions if anyone had some questions. Um, so yeah, thank you for watching. Expect a video out by hopefully next weekend, the latest or earliest. I'm not sure. We'll see. But this weekend I'm going to be working a lot on the video because the test stand's 90% done, so I can do a bunch on the video. So yeah, please subscribe, comment, and like, and I will see you guys in the next video or live stream.